I'm back here again. I got to talking to Roy here. I lost track of time. But my guest is Roy O'Connor, who is a resident here at Green Springs. Been here quite a long time. He and his lovely wife, Lynn. And I want to start off by indicating that you are a member of the board of directors. Now, you represent Green Springs at this board level. Mm-hmm. What are your specific duties, if I may ask?
Okay, well, I serve on the Green Spring Board of Directors, okay, mm-hmm. which is our outside board. I represent the residents in that I am the only resident director on that board. Mm-hmm. The Constitution and bylaws require us to have one, and I happen to be that representative. But on that board, in addition to just being a normal, regular board member, I serve on actually now four committees. I'm on the audit committee. I'm also on the investment and treasury committee for the governing board called National Senior Campuses, which is even another board, Bob, above our Green Spring board.
You're quite a busy man.
And a diversity committee also. So.
By the way, excuse me, Roy, this is a call-in segment. Please give us a call. Roy would love to answer any question that you may have. 663-3333. Please give us a call.
Okay, Bob, one thing I'd like to mention too before we get too far into this, I think it was great to see the job that the staff did cleaning the sidewalks and the roads yesterday. As usual, they really responded to the storm. It's really great to be here at Green Spring, and you can appreciate what they do for us. Many stayed overnight to be sure they could be here to provide the services that we become used to. And not only that, at the buffet dinner last night, you probably saw many resident volunteers helping serve through the buffet lines. So again, it's representative of a good spirit here that exists at Green Spring.
Amen to that. I buy that 1,000%.
Yeah.
In fact, I was somewhat amazed when I left my apartment to come up here to the Village Square area, and I see the roads are clear. Guys are on with the salt that have already cleared the sidewalks, and they're out with their salt spreader. Amazing.
It really is, and they do it over and over, and it's just terrific. And so, thanks to all of them, and also to the residents who joined right in on it. So that's great. Your
point is well made, Roy, and I'm sure the staff appreciates your comments.
Well, thank you. The South Region Board, which is over the four communities in what we call the South Region now, met last month up at Oakcrest. We moved the meetings around to each location. In November, they were here at Green Spring. But what happens at that board? Some residents asked me that, what takes place at a board meeting? And one of the big things is the management company, Erickson, gives us performance measurements, and in this case, for all of 2016. So Green Spring, of course, had a very good report. We did well in almost every metric, that you want to measure. The other thing is, at the time, so by the way, for the other residents may not know, I'm talking about Oakcrest and Riderwood up in Maryland, and Ashby Ponds, out in Loudoun County, along with ourselves. But so those are the four communities, but it's interesting. There's construction going on at all four communities. Ashby Ponds is building new resident buildings. They're finally expanding into their second neighborhood. They kind of got held up, after the recession in 8 and 9. Mm-hmm. But the other three communities are all doing repositioning plans. And I know everybody's probably heard that word before, but in fact, we are going to have a soft groundbreaking this afternoon here at Green Spring for the new addition that we're going to build in Garden Ridge.
Garden Ridge.
Yeah.
Well, this is going to be this afternoon?
This afternoon at 2 o'clock in Garden Ridge. So we'll have some outside dignitaries are invited, and our supervisor.
What time is this going to be?
This will be at 2 o'clock, and it is limited in that we only have a very small room up there. So
is this the meeting room number 1?
Yeah, but it's people are being invited to come. It will be videoed, so we can show that on
that's
Channel 6
great.
later.
Good.
Because of the weather, we can't have it outside, but so anyway, that's a milestone for us because we're finally going to go ahead with this very important addition to Garden Ridge.
Let me remind the people, this is a call-in show. Roy will be happy to answer your question. 663-3333. Give Roy a call.
Hey, thanks, Bob. So
One other question I do have. Does each community have one representative to the board?
yes,
And what is that relegated to? It doesn't mean nationwide, does it? Is it just this area?
no, all the 16 communities have resident
Okay.
directors. Yes.
Now, do these 16 communities meet, say, once a year,
Yes.
twice a year, whatever it is?
Well, right now it used to be once a year, but it's now like every year and a half, 18 months. But we have what's called a directors forum, where everybody comes together at the same time. All the community boards, including all the resident directors, and then the local
Oh, we
members.
have a call. Good morning, you're on Channel 6. Please turn down your volume.
Well, I did, but I'll turn you off. So I've turned you off altogether. This is Mary Sue Garner, and I'm just calling to thank Roy for all the work he does for us. He attends our general council meetings as well as our work session meetings and reports to us. So he's always keeping us involved in what's going on. And I want you to ask him what else he does on committee works, because I know he does some other committees. But thank you, Roy, very much.
Thank you, Mary Sue. It's actually a two-way street because this is one of my methods of keeping informed on what's going on in the community, because the council has done a great job representing the residents, not only just the council itself, but all of the council committees. Some 100 residents serve on these committees. So this is where you really find out what's going on, what's on people's minds. And Mary Sue, in answer to the second part of your question, I started to mention to Bob, I serve on the Investment and Treasury Committee for National Senior Campuses, and we manage what's called the CCRC Business Trust. So our long-term reserves are invested. Right now, it's all with Vanguard. We switched to Vanguard last year. A lot of the residents out there are familiar with Vanguard. We're very pleased. The results, we had better than a 6% return last year.
6%.
So we're very pleased with that.
Excellent.
And we reduced our fees considerably through Vanguard because they are a not-for-profit
Yeah.
business. And so that's one major committee. The other one is in diversity and inclusion and corporate social responsibility. And I represent us primarily on the CSR. We've been doing a lot of work in the last year to research and identify just what's going on in the community, not only within the gates, but outside the gates.
Yeah.
And there's so many good examples here at Green Spring of things that we do for people outside.
Amen.
We have volunteer tutors at the local schools. We have blood drives. We have the Alzheimer's walk. We have lots of things that residents are doing outside the community. So here we are, so-called retirement community, but actually
Not
far from being
retired, that's
retired, right? And so I'm very involved with that. And then, of course, I mentioned to you the audit committee, because once a year we have our outside auditors, PricewaterhouseCoopers, and they're coming up very soon, okay, with their report.
When you attend your board meeting, I would assume that you then schedule a report on your part to the residents as to what has transpired.
Yes, and I've written articles, for the Villager.
Yeah,
I also
yeah.
will report here on Channel 6. I also let the council know what's going on of significance. There's a certain amount of information which, if you're a board member, is confidential to the board, and actually I have to maintain that confidentiality. On the other hand, there are many good things that are going on, and I'm more than pleased to, to report on that. As a matter of fact, that brings up another committee. We call it the Community Relations Committee, which is made up of myself and 2 other board members, Jackson Bain and Betty Price. And the 3 of us make up that committee. And we met with the council actually last month to get some direct feedback from them. Of course, I'm living here every day, but the other 2 members are not. So it's invaluable for them too to hear. And this is another key part of our responsibility on the board, to be aware of what the residents are concerned with, any issues, and overall, we really have a governance responsibility to make sure that people are enjoying the quality of life which we want to deliver, and so that's an important feedback mechanism.
Well, Roy, you are a dedicated individual, and I think I can speak on behalf of all the residents and say thank you for your dedication and for your participation here at Green Spring. You are a big plus.
Thank you very much, Bob. It's my pleasure to represent the residents, and I do a lot of things one-on-one, and please come see me and if you have anything you want to talk about.
Well, I'm sorry we have to end this. I would like for it to go on, but maybe we'll do it again.
Okay.
But I want to thank you for coming on the program.
Great.
And we have another roll in, if I may have that, please.